Yo, what's good, bro? How you doing? So today we're gonna be talking about this concept, this idea of how to make stuff you're actually proud of. How to make whether it can be music, it can be videos, drawings, whatever it might be, any sort of like creative endeavor. How to make something that you can actually proudly stand by and like look at it and like be happy with it. So a little story before we get on with the video. Um, I for those who don't know me, I'm Malik. I've been making music for like around a year. Like I started releasing my songs in December 2022. Yeah, around December 2022, and I've also started making videos around the same time. And I think this year I've dropped like around 15 songs, if I'm not mistaken, ignoring like remixes and demos and stuff. 15 songs, and I think I've made like around 25 videos. Like, and I mean like real videos, like my diary entries and my music videos. My official audios for my songs, those don't really count, bro. It's just a cover with the song in it, right? So I made around 25 videos and I've made around like 15 songs. And I can confidently say that I only really like about like 5 songs that I've released in this entire year. Only 5. And it's interesting because I was thinking about this earlier this morning after I got done recording a new song I'm working on. I was listening to the song like playing back, and I couldn't help but like smile and get hyped in my room because like that shit was fire. Like I was so proud of this piece of music that I made by myself. And like I was in total disbelief when I was listening to that shit because it's like here I am like screaming like, yeah, this shit fire, bro, blah 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 blah, like getting hype in my room, while like 10 months ago, 12 months ago, I would be playing back to it and staring at my screen with like a weird expression. Because a lot of the songs I've made in the past, I I won't say I hate them, but I'll say there's a part of me that dislikes them. And this is something that I've always felt since the beginning, since I started like dropping my own songs and stuff. But it really clicked for me when I was watching Montel Fish's video. Shout out Montel, that's the GOAT. His conversation with Daniel Cesar, right? And Daniel said something along the lines of like, there are songs I made that I hate because they were simply a reaction to being perceived a certain way while I wanted to be perceived like another way. Something along those lines, right? And I was thinking back to that moment after I listened to that song and like my reaction, me getting hyped to the song while like 10 minutes ago I'd be getting like weirded out by my own song. And like it really shocked me because it took me so long to really understand why I didn't like my old songs, right? Because you need to understand, bro, a good deal of the songs that I made in the past have been essentially me attempting to have the people who listen to them perceive me in a certain way, right? An example of this, one of my most popular songs, Issues. You don't have to listen to the song to like understand the video, but just using it as an example. When I made that song, it's something that I only realized later on, but I was approaching it more in the angle of, I want to make a house song like Rio Vaz. Shout out Rio Vaz too. That's the GOAT. And it's like I wanted people to look at me and to look at my music in a similar way I looked at Rio Vaz's music, like in a similar fashion. And because of that, it wasn't as authentic as it could have been. And as a result, the end product ended up suffering. Like, because there would be moments while I was recording that song where I would have an idea for like a lyric, or an effect, but I'd be like, nah, this wouldn't sound right in a real song. This wouldn't sound right in a Jade song. Just using some of like my inspirations for reference point, right? And this is something that I was thinking like almost subconsciously. I wasn't really aware of how much it was influencing me, but I wanted so badly to be perceived in a similar vein as these artists I look up to, in a sense, that it resulted in me making a product, like making something that's less authentic. And I feel like that's the main reason why me and many other people around the world like have trouble sometimes being proud of what they make, because I know I'm not alone here. Like, I'm sure if the issue isn't mechanical skill, like if you're actually decent at your craft, whatever it is that you make, I don't know, you're a painter, you just made a painting and there's just something about it, bro, that bugs you. And I'm speaking from my experience as a musician. You made a song, and even though, like, quote unquote, objectively speaking here, you feel like everything is right, like the mixing sound right, the lyrics are alright, the beat is cool, there's just something about it that like rubs you the wrong way, and you're just not able to pinpoint what it is, bro. I feel like most of us don't really understand that a big part of that feeling of like rejection you get when you look at your own work might come simply because deep down, like, we know that this is not really what you wanted to make. It's really not. And it's interesting because at the end of the day, like, you came up with the ideas, right? You came up with the song. In my case, I came up with the beat. I made the beat myself. I sang the lyrics, mixed it, mastered it, everything, made the video, all of that. But it wasn't really your song. It wasn't really my song. It wasn't Malik's song. At best, it was like Malik's attempt at making a Malik song, like what I thought a Malik song should sound like, because I wanted people to view me as an artist in a similar vein as these other artists that I idolize or look up to. Idolize is a strong word. Look up to. And it's like, there's nothing inherently wrong with taking ideas from other artists. That's what we're here to do, like, as musicians, as artists. That's just how it goes. But it becomes something different when you are looking into the other artist's work as a mold for which you need to shape your own work. And this happens like automatically, bro, because I didn't realize how much I wanted to sound like, I'm just using Rio as an example, but I could use any other artist, bro. I could use Rio Vaz, I could use fucking Frank Ocean, Jades, Lil Shine, whatever, whoever it might be, bro. You don't realize how much you constrict yourself before you hit record simply because of your preconceived notions of what a song you would enjoy and therefore your audience would enjoy should sound like. You know what I mean? Because it's like, after I spent some time really thinking about it, I started to understand that a big part of what makes me resonate with art in general is the authenticity in it. Like, and if I want that element of authenticity in my songs, I need to be able to recognize when, like, the song isn't mine anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. This video, there's no script for this video, so my thoughts are gonna be like all over the place, by the way, just letting you know. And yeah, and I was journaling about this after I got the reaction from recording my song. Like, I was like, wow, man. I was writing down in my journal, like, holy shit, like, I'm so happy. I'm over here, like, jumping and screaming, like, yeah, this shit fire. Like, what's so different now? And I understood it is simply because recently I've been doing a lot more introspective work. Like, I've only recently started, like, really journaling, and I only recently started to, like, really write my songs, like, really sit down and be like, okay, what am I trying to say here? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's that process of looking inward and just allowing your brain's creative juice to, like, spew out as much as possible that's really allowed me to tap into that element of authenticity that, like, my old songs were lacking. Like, the music I'm making now, bro, is on a completely different level, because not only am I happier with it, but it's just like objectively, and I use objectively here in air quotes, because there's no such thing as objective in art, right? But how can I put this? They make me feel like I'm actually realizing my true potential as an artist. That's the best way I can put it. And the way I was able to finally love the stuff that I make was simply by learning what I'm actually making, like really sitting down and thinking about what I'm actually making. And you don't need to, like, spend like fucking 10 days meditating over a song and shit. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like, all I started doing was just like thinking, like, yeah, I'm about to record a song, like, you know, I want this song to talk about this. Or I'll ask myself a question like, oh, if I were to deal with this situation, how would I feel? Or in this situation I dealt with in the past, how did I feel? And while I'm recording the song, then I'll think of, like, shit other artists that I like do, like, oh, Jades has this really cool effect on Lucifer's favorite color, where, like, in his ad-lib chain, like, it will just pan from ear to ear, you know, maybe I'll use that. And it's just me using other artists' work to contribute to my own original sculpture, instead of sculpting or shaping my work on theirs. And for some people watching this, bro, this shit might be obvious from the beginning, like, because you always hear artists say this, like, just be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But it's like, I couldn't. I really wanted to, but it's like, I feel like for people like me, where you might have, like, some trouble being, like, really confident and certain in your art, at least at first, you tend to, like, look a lot closer to your idols, to your heroes, for what you should be doing, consciously or subconsciously. And that is going to undermine your art. That is going to make whatever you're making, I won't say it's gonna make it worse, I'll say it's going to make it not as good as it could have been, or not as authentic as it could have been. And the more and more I make songs, the more and more I record videos, the more I start to understand that the stuff I make that I like the most, and also the stuff I make that usually performs the best, is the songs where I've been, like, as authentic as I possibly could. A good example of this is Decay. Decay is my most popular song out right now, and, like, at the moment of recording this video. And it's like, before I made Decay, I really wanted to establish myself as, like, part of the underground community of music, like the plug and B, fucking even D&B, like, you know what I mean, the underground music community. I really wanted to establish myself as a part of that. And because of that, I spend most of my time trying to figure out most of my time trying to figure out, like, how I would hop on these, like, plug beats and, like, these ambient rap beats type shit. Excuse me. Yeah. But when I heard the guitar sample that's on the K, I was like, you know what, bro? While I really love the underground and I would love to be part of this community, like I would love for people to see me as like in equal standing as someone like, again, I'm just gonna use him as a reference point because he's also someone I'm very inspired by, Jades. I would love for people to see like Malik the same way or a similar way I see Jades. It's like, really, bro? I don't want to make plug and be right now. So let me just make this for fun. I wasn't even planning on releasing the K. I made that shit purely for me. Like that song was purely by me for me. You know what I mean? And it ended up being, in my opinion, one of my best songs. Looking back at it now, it's kind of ass because the mixing is trash, bro. I did not know how to mix, and I was using like my fucking gaming headset to mix my songs back in the day, so I couldn't even like hear half of the shit I was doing. But the mix is trash, but the song, like, I think the song is pretty decent personally, and people seem to think the same way. And it really clicked into me when I heard that song and when I saw the reaction to it. That's like, oh, you know, maybe I should trust my ideas a little bit more. Maybe it's worth thinking about like what I'm really doing when I record a song just a little bit more. Just that extra layer of like introspectiveness really helps when it comes to making something that you're proud of, because it came from you, bro. Like at the end of the day, when you're making whatever it is, you're simply trying to send a message regardless of what it is. You can make a song, bro. It's just you trying to tell people something. A picture, drawing, video, painting, clothes, whatever it is. It's just you communicating with other people. And if you're just repeating the words that someone else has said, if you're just communicating the same thing someone else has said, of course it's not going to feel right for you, because it's not you. It's not your words. It's not what you're trying to say. Or it might be what you're trying to say, but it's not the way in which you want to say it. And I feel like we as musicians, like we as artists, tend to get so stuck on wanting to be perceived a certain way. It's like, you know, because that's the way the industry works. Although it is shifting, it is definitely shifting. It's like, traditionally speaking, it's like artists are put in a box. Like, you're a rapper, you're a singer rapper. You sound like that guy, and you sound like that guy. So intuitively, it's like I'll be thinking, okay, I want to belong to this community, because if I don't belong to this community and I sound too different from them, even though they're my reference point at which I'm basing like my sound on, I might not be like seen as part of that group. And if I'm not seen as part of that group, where the fuck am I gonna go? You know what I mean? It's just that fear of not really knowing what your sound is that's just leads you to put yourself in a box almost like automatically. Yeah, shit, I ended up yapping a lot, bro. My bad. This video is just gonna be like chill and formal. I didn't really want to do anything extra for this one. I just wanted to like sit down with you, have a conversation, just talk about stuff. You know what I mean? Because my videos tend to be a lot more artistic. But you know, I thought I'd do something different for once, just for fun. Go listen to my music if you haven't, please. I'd really appreciate that. If I had to describe my sound, it's like a fusion of like R&B, ambient sounds, and like underground rap. But sometimes I dive into other shit. Also a lot of alt rock influences. Just saying. But yeah, go listen to my music, bro. I'll have some end cards here. You can click on those. those. If you don't want to do that, you can watch my videos too, my diary entries. I'm sure you'd enjoy them. And yeah, that's it, bro. Peace out.